You are probably aware of the value of main battle tanks in combat. They are important military weapons capable of firing direct fire while retaining a strong level of durability on the front lines of combat. These days, it's not unusual to see Army units made up solely of main battle tanks, since the technology is advanced enough to allow operations to be carried out with little to no risk. In this highly advanced age, the great advancement of weaponry has produced amazing machines with very powerful armor and cutting-edge technology. The American M1 Abrams tank and its variations are frequently praised as main combat tanks among its rivals. But to what extent is this really true? Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking about the legendary main battle tank of the US, the M1A2 Abrams. So let's get going. A true legend of the US Army, the M1 Abrams have proved uncounted times their effectiveness as they were operated during the Gulf War, the war in Afghanistan, the Iraq War, the 2011 Egyptian Revolution, and more. Designed by the Chrysler Defense, which are now widely known as General Dynamics Land Systems, the company was reportedly to have built more than 10,000 units of the tank. It was a loyal supporter during both wars in Iraq, and it is highly probable the most combat-tested weapon in the world. The gun is hugely potent. Over the years, the platform has been steadily upgraded. In comparison to other tanks in its class, it is fast and maneuverable. It provides adequate protection for the crew. For these and other reasons that we are going to discuss, it has to be considered one of the best tanks ever. The variant M1A2 Abrams are third-generation main battle tanks that are among the world's heaviest. The Abrams line currently has three operational variants: the M1, the M1A1, and the M1A2. The U.S. Army intended to replace the tanks with the Future Combat Systems XM1202, but the project was shelved. Currently, the Army has the plan on preserving the available inventory Abrams and improve them in any way. Nonetheless, the Abrams is not unrivaled in its very heavyweight class. Other vehicles such as the French Leclerc, German Leopard 2, the British Challenger 2, and the Israeli Merkava 4 have comparable firepower and protection levels, though each has advantages and disadvantages. For decades, the most dangerous potential adversary was the Russian T-90 tank, a vehicle that can compete with the Abrams but is far from a peer. Russia's new T-14 Armata tank and its capabilities definitely poses a competitive threat to the Abrams. Though the Abrams appears to have a slight advantage in conventional armor, the Armata makes up for it with a combination of explosive reactive armor and a sophisticated radar-guided Afghan Active Protection System, APS, designed to shoot down incoming projectiles. Because the T-14 has an improved armor penetration, the Abrams frontal armor may be vulnerable at shorter combat ranges, possibly 1,500 meters and less. It is still arguable whether one of them is better than the other because it is obvious that they are capable of demolishing one another. It is worth to note that the Abrams can no longer assume the inferiority of opposing tanks. Now, let's talk about the development and history of the M1A2 Abrams tanks. The manufacturing of M1A2 began in 1986, and the first one was delivered to the U.S. Army in 1992. The M1A2 has a thermal sight for the tank commander and can shoot two targets at once. Second-generation depleted uranium is used in the armor. Then came the System Enhancement Package, SEP upgrade, which altered the M1A2's already enhanced capabilities. The M1A2 SEP remains the backbone of the United States' armored forces today. The U.S. produced 240 new M1A2 SEPs, updated 300 M1A2s with the SEP variant, and converted 400 M1A1s to the MI1A2 SEP configuration. The SEP version's armor features enhanced depleted uranium components, making it one of the best in the world. By installing explosive reactive armor, the Army can increase the level of protection. The tank's main weapon is a 120mm M256 with a range of 2.5 miles. M829A3 APF SDS ammo and M1028 rounds are used in the weapon. At a range of 0.12 to 0.3 miles, the second option is an effective ammunition for infantry targets. The tank has a ballistic computer and a sophisticated and capable firing control system. The two thermal sights employ second-generation FLIR technology, which also allows for night vision. A digital battlefield management system distinguishes friendly and hostile targets on the main battle tank. The system shows the location of adjacent friendly automobiles in real time. The commander, gunner, loader, and driver make up the four-person crew. The AGT 1500 gas turbine engines provide 1500 horsepower and give the vehicle good performance. The M1A2C is the M1A2 SCP battle tank's third iteration. It was first revealed by the U.S. in 2015, and it is still the most recent of the Abrams. The M829A4 Advanced Kinetic Energy Rounds and the XM1147 Advanced Multipurpose Programmed Ammunition are both compatible with the tank. Raphael Trophy HV is the active protection system. So why is it considered one of the greatest tanks? Well, currently the only operational main battle tank for the U.S. Army is the Abrams. The most recent upgraded model in the Abrams tank line is the M1A2C, also known as SEP version 3. The newly improved model is reasonably priced, has outstanding systems and technology, superior armor, and deadly firepower. With all of these attributes, there aren't many things that can outperform this effective tank. Considering its current capabilities, more works are going to be done for the enhancements of M1 Abrams tanks. The Army is currently planning to develop the M1A3, a more radical upgraded Abrams. The details are sketchy, but one of the priorities appears to be reducing the Abrams' roughly 70-ton weight. Weight has certainly limited the Abrams' ability to deploy around the world and the bridges it can cross. A lighter weight gun, replacing the wiring with fiber optic cables to save 2 tons of weight. Improved suspension, and the addition of a laser warning receiver are among the features specifically mentioned. Moreover, General Dynamics received a $4.6 billion contract in 2020 with a June 2028 target completion date to upgrade the M1A2 SEP version 3 variant. The projected value of the first delivery order is $406 million. SEP itself stands for System Enhanced Package. It's all about protection, lethality, and survivability with this upgrade. Greater armor and more firepower are also included in the update. The developed ammunition, M829A4, which uses modernized multipurpose rounds and kinetic energy, can be fired from it. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments down below. Till then, be safe and stay well.